ideally marketing can get you like 60, 70, 80% of the way to making a sale just because somebody knows your brand and they trust you. So a lot of it does absolutely depend on, that's everybody's least favorite answer from a marketer, right? It's like, oh, it depends. But it does depend on your market. How long have you been in business? How long have you had a website? Have you done any SEO before? So if you're in Dallas and you're a brand new company and you're like, I want to spend $1,000 a month on ads, I'm going to say that's not going to work. You're not going to get any results. So we do look at like, what does competition look like? And then also from a standpoint of Google, I always tell people that your competition, who you see that you're bidding up against, is not who Google sees as being your competition. So it is kind of that difference between what's happening online versus what's actually happening in the market, and who am I seeing as I'm competing against them in price and all of that kind of thing. Like, because a brand is really, really hard to build and it takes forever to build, but it's really easy to diminish. Hook is a big part of my life. And I know that some people, especially like the people straight out of college and the younger people, are like, your job shouldn't be your life. Is it my absolute life? No, but also, let's see. This is gonna be, I gotta unzip this shoe.
Do you have a hook tattoo?
Oh yeah. We've got the hook tattoo.
Hell yeah.
So we say that we put the cult in culture.
Okay.
All right.
If you believe in what you're doing, and if people are like, well, what if you leave there? I'm like, that's fine. Right now, at this point in my life, it means so much to me and I love it that I'm never gonna regret it. Unless you fire me, Tim. Don't do that.
Oh, hey, oh. You are now tuned in to the best roofing podcast in the world. The Roof Trollz.
It's already going. This guy. He doesn't.
Go ahead is that it's already happening.
All right, here.
Yeah,
We're
always
here.
happening.
So yeah, the Roof Trollz. The episode without Elijah.
It's going to be the most epic and greatest episode ever.
I will be the Elijah. You can call me Elijah.
Oh, man.
Well,
I'll answer.
Well, let's start it off. Sydnee, please introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Look, he's already getting jealous out there. Look at him.
He heard me say, I will be the Elijah here.
You're way better looking than Elijah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Sydnee Olsen. I am the CRO at Hook Agency, digital marketing for roofing companies. So helping roofing companies grow, get more leads through Google.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
So it's crazy. So Mike and I think some of the other guys at one point came out here. They did like a training outside. And it wasn't that I didn't want to be involved or if I couldn't make the trip, but I was like, okay. And I didn't really put too much into it. Like, okay. I get here and I'm like, holy crap. Like, hey, what did I miss out on? No, it wasn't that. It was just, I was just like, this is crazy. I just didn't realize how big you guys were and all that you guys do. And it's funny, outside on your wall of your customers, you guys helped a gentleman from Indianapolis, Tom Sovich and his company.
Yeah.
I know him. So shout out to Tom.
Nice. Open box. We love open box.
It's cool. It's like they're pink.
Yeah, I was going to say they know their ideal customer because they came to us and they said, we want a pink website because we know our homeowner is generally going to be the wife that's making the decision. So we want to attract them. So it's fun because we get to meet a lot of different types of people who work with different types of people, and then we get to build something specifically for them. So there's a lot of agencies out there that are like super cookie cutter, and you probably heard digital marketing agency, I don't need to go to this event. There's a ton of them out there. They all suck. Versus we are very different. We're very custom. Everything we do is unique. We really care about this industry. We care about our customers. So we want to know, like Tom and OpenBox, okay, you guys like pink. Let's be able to actually do that and not just say, no, roofing companies can't do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just, again, wasn't too familiar with everything. And that's my own fault. And I'm sorry to everyone. I let down with that.
You should apologize every time.
It's messed up.
We will accept the apology because you're here now.
We are. Well, no, it's graciously that you guys are letting us use your guys' facility, which is like, I'm hoping that we have some shots because like your place is so badass.
Thank you.
It just is. I'm not trying to like hype you guys up too much, like, but it just is true, man. Like your office is just next level. I love the center room with all the glass doors. Like again, hopefully we get some shots of it.
Fishbowl so that everybody can see that you're in a meeting. Yeah. In digital marketing, you got to show people you're working, right? Everyone's like, I don't know, are they those really 25-year-olds? Are they actually doing something in there? We've got to show that they're working. Yeah. But we do. We're here to serve the industry. So we're happy that you guys are here and that you were able to use our space and hopefully get some cool content.
What all do you guys do? So you get with like it seems contractors.
Yep.
Typically roofers.
Yep.
And then once you kind of have that relationship, can you kind of elaborate, like kind of sell me, right? Like sell me on it.
All right. So we only work with home service companies. Most of them are roofers. And I know not all roofers consider themselves home services. So that kind of construction contractor side of things. But we really started as working with roofers and saw one of our longest clients is actually here in Minneapolis, Josh Swisher with North Face Construction. He's a roofing company. We started with him when he was under $1 million, been working with him for like 7 years, and he is probably at 12 or 13 million now. So we just realized we can get really good results for him. We like working with him and we like working with this industry. And the more that you kind of do, like the more roofs that you do, the better that you get at it, right? So the more that we do in this industry, the better we can get results because we're sharing information and we've learned from our past mistakes, that kind of a thing. So we started because we're like, we like them, we like this industry, and we can get really good results. In terms of what we do everything on the search side of Google. So we really want to be there when and where people are searching for you, which is generally going to be Google. There's Facebook and other types of things, which we look at as being more interruption type marketing. And somebody's not going to buy a $15,000 roof when they're scrolling on Facebook and trying to see when their grandma's birthday is. So we want to be there because they're actually searching for you. They have higher intent. They're more likely to actually close. So we build the websites. We want to build trust and credibility. We do SEO, helping kind of build out that content on your site and build authority with Google. We do Google paid ads management. Basically, like, we want to take up as much real estate on that search results page as possible. We call it the 5 times rule. So we want you to be showing up 5 times for your customer to build that trust before they ultimately are going to reach out to you.
That's incredible. You guys are like a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
So we don't
do like we have great partners like Dope Marketing that do the direct mail and other types of marketing. So we really want to get that lead. And then we want to work with people who have speed to lead. They have the teams that can answer the phones. They have the teams that can actually go out and do the work. So we are pretty specific in who we work with and who we know our process works the best for. But with that comes then that we get to work with like the best people in the industry, I think.
Oh, that's sick. So and ask you, Mike, so how did you get correlated with Hook and everybody? Like, how did you meet everybody?
So I met Hook through Tony and coming up here, and I'd seen Tim at some of the events and everything. And then, doing the first event here and talking to Tim more, and he's kind of hard to pin down because he's always running around everywhere. But just seeing what you guys do, we came up here. This venue is amazing. I mean, seeing what you guys do for some of the other roofers in the country is pretty amazing. I know he's got a good relationship with Dimitri Lipinski. We'll give him a shout out too. So it's just everything just comes together. Like, I believe that. So everyone says like Dallas, Texas area is like the big storm area. I think Minnesota is kind of really the mecca of the storm thing. Yeah. I mean, you got the best pricing out here. I mean, I was at the ABC trip last week, and I wound up hanging out with and knowing more people from Minnesota than I actually did from Chicago, which is pretty crazy. So that must mean I'm getting around up here in Minnesota and I'm making my way around. So Minnesota is a super cool market. You guys have really tapped into it and helped a lot of roofers grow. So that's pretty amazing. I mean, for someone to go from 1 million to 12, 13 million in the course of 7 years. Have you been here for those whole 7 years then?
I have not. So I've been here a little over 4 years. I actually started in paid ads. That's one thing I think that makes our team different is in terms of like account management, the people that you're working with, they've done that work. They know what's going on. They know what it takes in order to get good results. So I started in paid ads about 4.5 years ago at Hook, and then kind of realized it wasn't my best fit. We really believe in the right person, right seat, and how can we move the good people, considering myself one of the good people, how can we move the people that we want to be here into the right role so that they can actually do what they should be doing and help our customers, help our clients, help our team continue to grow too.
No, so for our listeners out there, CRO, what is that position? And can you explain?
Fancy word for sales, Chief Revenue Officer.
Okay.
So we have a five-person sales and marketing team, which is kind of big for our size. We're about a 32-person agency. We try and stay low on the overhead side of things so that most people are actually doing the work. But lead our sales team, lead some marketing stuff. Obviously, Tim is absolutely amazing at marketing. But when you asked him how did he get connected with Hook, I think a lot of people will say, we see you guys everywhere. We are very online. We are very on Facebook. We try and go to a lot of the industry events and everything. And we consider ourselves like we're in the trenches. We want to be in the trenches with you, in the trenches with our clients. I put a roof on. So it's like I want to do these things. The more that we know, the better that we can help serve our clients.
Yeah, I wanted to jump into that because I brought that up to you earlier because I know you don't remember me. We met her at RoofCon. If you talked to Tim at all when we were down there, she was there and you had the videos and stuff like that. She is a badass roofer. Like I can say this, like she probably knows more about roofing than probably 95% of our guys working for us. Damn. So like, do you want to spit a little roofer knowledge for us? Because like she's a badass roofer.
Thank you. I don't know, the badass roofer might be overselling it a little bit. I'm big on expectations. So if you hire me for your crew, lower the expectations a little bit. My goal, I want to do 1 roof a year so I can keep my skills up. But I got there and it was so funny. They were like, just do what you think that you should do. And then we'll tell you if that's right or wrong.
Well, hang on. So clearly this is like a legitimately true story. So
yes, I legitimately put a roof on.
So when did this take place?
This summer. So we have up in the front of our office, we've got a shingle wall, maybe a B-roll shingle wall. We have our shingles up there. And the first ones that I nailed down, we had to tear off. And so I put my name on the back of it and it's sitting up at our shingle wall. But I thought I would start from the top. And that's not correct. So I had to tear it off and then we had to go back down to the bottom.
Yeah, okay. That's okay.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
And Angelo, this was one of the things that I was excited about, like having you on here because I had seen the stuff at RoofCon and everything. And, you know, if we couldn't get Tim, I mean, getting the girl who goes up there and does roofing. Wait, tell him about carrying shingles up on a roof too. You're way tougher.
Halfway. Okay. I tried to get all the way up. I got about halfway up the ladder with my shingle bundle. And I was watching all of them like use their hip. Well, most of them were like just throwing it over their shoulders like it's super light. And going back to Dimitri, at his old roofing process, he used to do the shingle lift or like the bundle lift. Mm-hmm. And everybody makes it look so easy. No chance can I take a bundle and hold it over my arm.
That's hilarious.
But they would do like competitions on who could hold it up the longest. So in my mind, I'm like, people are doing this all the time. It's so easy. So I'm like, God, there's probably video out there of me trying to get it up, of like using my hips and throwing the bundle to get it over my shoulder. And it was wet and muddy.
Yeah.
And then I got halfway up the ladder until I was like, I might die.
There's definitely kudos owed to you. I mean, that's impressive. Like it is. Like I've carried shingles.
Yeah, we did. Light. Yeah, we did everything from like the tear off. My favorite part. This is not going to make me sound like a badass roofer because I can't think of what the actual name is. When you're putting the underlayment down and you're nailing it in, and you have like the
staple gun.
No, it's like the magnetic, and then you like put the little, and you like do them really quick. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the staples or the
but they're nails. They're like
nails.
The little cap nails.
Cap nails.
Yeah,
cap
like a stinger cap nail.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. Because they made it look so good. They made a video on like the pros do it better. So it was like me struggling to get up the ladder and then the real crew like running up the ladder with 2 bundles and then me taking forever to like get the nails in and then them just running down the roof. So
that's amazing.
But who got more views? You doing it or them? I'm sure you won.
Except for our guy did do a backflip at the end and I cannot do a backflip. So
I can't do a backflip.
Yeah.
I could do a backflip like into a pool. Or like count. Off a trampoline.
If you have like a bounce.
Yeah, I can't just stand here and do that. No.
That doesn't count.
All right, that's fine.
Could you do it off of like a elevated surface that doesn't have?
Probably, but I'm not confident enough, and I'm also 36 now, so I'd probably like hurt myself.
Like we are, we're desk workers, so don't do it in here.
That's a dig because I'm old.
It actually wasn't. So tell me more about what's your guys' process like when you're searching for that customer. Let's say you get. Do you guys turn people away, I guess, kind of?
We do.
Interesting.
Yeah, so unfortunately, we do turn a lot of people away. But that's really because we know what works. We know who it works for. And we want to set the proper expectations in terms of don't spend 100% of your marketing budget on us. So if you're kind of under that $2 or $3 million mark, I'm going to tell you exactly what you should do. I want to be here to help. I'm going to tell you who to work with. I'm going to tell you what you need to do in order to get there from a marketing standpoint. But if you're at that mark and, our services are on the higher end in terms of pricing because I truly believe that we are the best at what we do, especially in this industry. And with what we do as well comes with just a very high standard of service, high standard of customer service as well. So with that, because it's a little bit on that higher price point, it can take up somebody's marketing budget pretty quick. And when we look at like, you should be doing so many other things. You should be using job site branding. You should have yard signs. You should be doing direct mail. You should be doing billboards. So I never want it to be that pressure, of course, is going to be super high if this is our only lead source. But big believer in diversifying that lead source as well and where your leads are coming from. I'm
the customer, right? And I'm talking to you about it. What do you think the ROI is, when you get this dialed in right, because I think there's a big misconception, and you guys clearly been really good as, taking the branding aspect, which is something that we've been really trying to do with our company. And last year, Elijah, and again, kudos to him because he got it where some of us didn't. It wasn't that we didn't believe it, just he's been passionate kind of about that and wanting to dig in. But from the branding side to when you actually start making those call to actions, right? You go into the marketing side of it. Where do you see, like, on average, how long the branding has to be to where you're like, hey, we're getting the algorithms clicking, people are viewing it, and now, hey, we need to start like pushing that call to action. And is it market based? Is it, because again, if you guys aren't cookie cutter, right? But you have a process. So how are you taking that process to each market, to each company?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. A lot of it does absolutely depend on, that's everybody's least favorite answer from a marketer, right? Is like, oh, it depends. But it does depend on your market. How long have you been in business? How long have you had a website? Have you done any SEO before? So if you're in Dallas and you're a brand new company and you're like, I want to spend $1,000 a month on ads, I'm going to say that's not going to work. You're not going to get any results. So we do look at like, what does competition look like? And then also from a standpoint of Google, I always tell people that your competition, who you see that you're bidding up against, is not who Google sees as being your competition. So it is kind of that difference between what's happening online versus what's actually happening in the market, and who am I seeing as I'm competing against them in price and all of that kind of thing. So we look at a lot of these different things, and that's part of the process of, do we think that we can get you good results? Do we think we're going to be a good partner for you? Is if they've never done any SEO before, it's going to be a year before you really start seeing any traction. So we do want to make expectations that it's not an overnight thing. Even Google Ads, it's quick, it's faster, it's that pain reliever, but it's still not going to happen overnight. So
no, definitely.
I mean, I think that's a big problem with a lot of the agencies in this industry, is that they set improper expectations. So you talk to agency A 10 years ago, they told you they're going to get you 100 leads next week. And then they didn't meet that. So you're mad. So you go to agency B, but you still think you're going to get those 100 leads. Agency B doesn't do it. So you get mad and go to agency C. You still think you're going to get those 100 leads. So it's like, I have to do a lot of that work in terms of what actually is possible from digital marketing. It's not going to be the number one thing that saves your business, but it can be a really high closing lead source.
No, for sure. Do you ever have to walk away? Like, you have a customer and you're putting in work and the relationship's fine, but you just come to find out, I don't want to say the terms that you guys missed something, or there's just, but again, it's business, right? Like some things you think are going to work, or this partnership's going to be, and then you find out 6 months in, a year in, like, damn, it's not there. Or, and because again, you can't always control. That's the other thing that I think people forget is, people pay a lot of money for marketing and all that, but they forget that it's not your fault that they couldn't close the deal either. And so I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand, and they get mad about it, right? Yeah. And we try to do our best. We're fortunate that we have the team we have. And again, just my ignorance to all the things that you guys do is that, we're in that path of like trying to grow this out, but we did such a good push. And for our branding, we're like, again, people in our area know who we are. Yeah. So that part has been like phenomenal. And we were talking outside with everybody, and it's been like cool to hear that everyone's like, no, man, we're seeing your stuff, and it's fun, and it's energetic, and we're excited about it. But it's when we start seeing people in the grocery store. Yeah. And they're like, oh, you're the guys from Romans, the orange, those bright ass orange trucks. And it's like, yeah. So we know we're doing something right. Yep. And, we're fine tuning it all. But I was just so curious about that because, again, I'm new to this. This is something Elijah's been like diving into. Yeah. And, Mike, knows you guys and knows people that are a part of it. Mm-hmm. But I think he's more like on my part, like, I'm not diving into the analytics. I'm not going to the admin side of it. And like,
oh, you want to hear the funny story? Or
yeah, dude, I'd love to.
I have a bachelor's degree in marketing, and I want nothing to do with this, like, at all. Like, I mean, I'm probably more of like your R&D, like if in the roofing industry, if, we were ever to sell the company, get out, I would want to go and play mad scientist and like experiment with like different shingles and stuff like that. And I didn't go to school for any of that. And I have no clue how to, make a shingle, even though I've been on, plant tours, everything. But yeah, I have a bachelor's degree in marketing and don't want to deal with this stuff at all. Like it's
why,
funny.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people hire us, because I don't believe that SEO specifically, digital marketing, is like put in this black box, which a lot of agencies will tell you. They're like, it's all up to Google. I don't know. Like, no, we know what needs to be done every single month. We're super transparent about what work is done. And so a lot of people are like, no, we're not going to tell you, but that's not the case. People work with us because they don't want to do it.
That's
They
right.
don't have the time to do it. They don't have the time to be consistent. And that is so much of what you are probably seeing with your branding. It's been that you're putting in time, money, and effort into building this brand.
So I have two things I want to add. Well, one thing is a statement. Second thing is going to be another question, but statement is yes. So I used to do a lot of like videos, and I'm like, I have no problem talking and like trying to get the information, or like even like memorizing a little script for my own thing, whatever venture I was doing personally. It came to the editing side. I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Right.
Like I genuinely hated it. And I went to Ball State for telecommunications. Like I learned how to like edit some. I'm not a pro at it, but I took classes on it for a little while. I didn't graduate. I'm not cool like you guys, but I did learn some of it. And I'm like, this sucks. I don't know how people do this. Like you have to be passionate about it.
That's boring. Honestly, like
it's also
marketing
other
is fun.
people's.
Digital marketing is boring.
But it's also because you're doing other people's, right? And I'm doing my own, but like you have to be passionate about it, right? But my second thing is for like the wives. This is a personal thing, and I hope my wife will actually listen to this. I think the wives, and it was funny, Dan's wife was giving him crap about his point to the left thing, right? And I love that.
Sorry.
That's his thing. But my thing is can you talk about how important branding is, and that it sounds silly, but even a podcast, and I know because you're young, you're a woman, and I feel like it's like that's every white guy's dream. That's just like I think that's like what every guy wants to do. They want to have a podcast, talk about sports with their buddies.
Yeah.
And although we do have a lot of fun with this, it's got us to a place like this that is with huge entrepreneurs in our industry that are helping us grow. I mean, the tidbits that we got today from the guests we had are going to help mold us, not only as like individuals, as like men, as business owners, which is great. But I ask you is, how important really is that brand? Because like I talked to my wife and she's like, this is silly. Like, hey, do you? I support you. I have no idea why you guys think spending this money is important. Yeah. And it's like, I know you don't see it now, and I can't expect you to. You're not doing the day-to-day that we do and don't have the vision we do, but it's going to pay off.
Yeah.
So I know I've been really long-winded with this, but like that's the message I'm hoping that you can clear up is like the money that companies have to do now because of social media, because of how the internet is, because of how Google is. I'm sorry, please take it away.
No, absolutely. And I think that I love that you said that every white man's dream is having a podcast, because I always see the memes that are like, Amazon needs to stop selling podcast gear because now everybody thinks they can have a podcast.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said white man. At this point, it's just every man.
Yeah.
So let me retract that.
But I mean, Hook Agency has 2 podcasts. So Tim does 2 podcasts. He puts out an episode a week on both podcasts, and it has gotten us incredible amounts of value. Like you said too, it's the learning as you're talking to really smart people in different, like you're talking to $100 million business owners. You're talking to people who have built brands. You're talking to people who have done all this stuff, and you're going to learn something from them every single time. So not only is that piece of it, like I'm growing myself, and I know this is going to help me, but the opportunities that has gotten us is crazy. So as a marketer, if anybody, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Marcus Sheridan, he wrote the book, They Ask You Answer. We're having him on our podcast, and he reached out to us recently. So it's like the opportunities is crazy.
Hell yeah,
in
congrats.
terms
That's
of
awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Who you can meet, and I think just like the reach that you can get with a podcast as well. One more name, Joseph Hughes, Contractor Dynamics. He says 5 Mile Famous. So exactly like you said with your branding, you want to be going out to the grocery store and people know you. People know your brand. They know who you are. Ideally, marketing can get you like 60, 70, 80% of the way to making a sale just because somebody knows your brand and they trust you. Hey, you did my neighbor's house. I saw your brand. I saw your yard sign. I saw all of these reviews, all of these things that you've done with your brand. The second piece of that is then you have to build that credibility, right? So I think building a brand is incredibly important. I think it can get you so far but it can also only get you so far. You've got to be able to be the people that are really doing the work and doing a good job.
You have to deliver.
Exactly, because a brand is really, really hard to build, and it takes forever to build, but it's really easy to diminish by the time, if you can't deliver on the things you say that you're going to do, it's really easy for that brand to just kind of...
No, I love that. And I think you did a good job of like explaining that, because again, I'm not articulate enough to explain that to someone when it's, why are we doing X, Y, Z? And it's like, well, there's a reason behind it. Again, we're in roofing, right? And I talked with someone earlier today about it, is that I think and I don't know if it's gonna be my niche or whose niche, but like no one talks about like the actual, what we're delivering. Like we're delivering the siding. Not everyone, because in our market, I don't think anyone's doing what we're doing. And I think we're ahead of the curve, which is phenomenal for us. But then it also is like a target, right? Because they're going to know us. But if we screw up, but at the end of the day, they're looking for a roofer, a sider, a gutter company. And although we sound great, at the end of the day, we still have to deliver on that, just like you guys do, right? And so my thought is like making sure that the product is everything we say it's going to be, because just because we're funny, just because we're putting out good content to educate people on the systems and processes so that they feel comfortable with you, it's how good are we at actually putting it on there? Because that's the part that matters. Not only were the guys in the orange trucks that were all over Facebook and Instagram and all that, but we're also the guys that do a damn good job of putting your roof on.
Yeah. So let's shift gears here for a minute, because we want to learn about you too as well. Tell us a little bit about yourself, family, kids, give us a little bit, because, we've just been talking about work stuff. So, and, we've neglected her. And
this is what I'm here for. This is my life, is honestly,
be neglected.
Yeah. To be neglected, to be Tim's secondhand person, to not be Tim, but the person that people get when Tim's not here. That's my personality. No, but I think that Hook is a big part of my life. And I know that some people, especially like the people straight out of college and the younger people, are like, your job shouldn't be your life. Is it my absolute life? No, but also, let's see. This is going to be, I got to unzip this shoe.
Do you have a Hook tattoo?
Oh yeah. We've got the Hook tattoo.
Hell yeah.
So we say that we put the cult in culture.
Okay.
All right.
But so it's a big part of my life. It's giving me so many opportunities. But at this point in my life, like I never thought that I would be a CRO of something. Is it just a fluffy title? Yeah. But like the opportunities that I've gotten from being here is wild. So I've done a lot of different jobs. I put on one single roof, which makes me a roofer.
Badass roofer.
Thank you. Which makes me a badass roofer. I've taught English. I've worked at a nonprofit. Like I've done a lot of things that just kind of, I think, got me to where I am. Not married, no kids, but my whole family lives in Minneapolis. Well, that's not true. Sorry to my brother, who would never watch this, but lives in Hong Kong. So love you, but you don't count.
Can we send this to him?
You absolutely can. And he's going to not listen to it.
He's not going to listen to his own sister?
No, he will not. He's a busy guy. But the rest of my family is all here. Like my parents literally live across the street from me.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Which is across the street from here. So my parents are like within a 5-block radius right now.
Very cool.
Now, did that get you a lifetime contract? Like a pay raise?
Oh, no. So we posted on Facebook, and of course all of our like roofing friends are like, yeah, hell yeah, that's amazing. We brought a tattoo artist to RoofCon, so really built upon that. And then we posted it on LinkedIn, and it was like, this is insane. These are like, do you guys need help? Are you in a cult? Do you need to like call these people? And so we're on there like responding to all the comments. I'm like, I am one of the people. I did not, like, I am getting no benefit from this. I did this on my own accord.
Oh my
So we like to
gosh.
say we put the cult in culture.
Yeah. I mean, the symbol is cool. I mean,
Why not?
Truth be told, I want to put this is my first company I've ever been part owner of. This has changed my life. I've gotten a strong relationship with my best friend. It's provided my family more than I thought I would have gotten so quickly, right? I'm such a firm believer in like doing those. It's going to work out, right? But long story, I would love to. And I keep telling Elijah, when are we going? Like,
we've got our tattoo artist. He did. So there's probably Tim and Bia, co-owners. They both had one before I started. And then like 2 years ago, like 5 more of us got them. So Casey, who helped you guys this morning, she's got one. They're around. They're floating around.
hell
It
yeah.
is a cult.
It is.
When are people going to start getting Romans tattoos?
But I just said I want to.
Oh, that's what I thought you wanted to get a Hook tattoo.
No, man. I want to put ours on like.
Let's see it. Let's see the logo.
This is the logo.
That's some work that you got to get done on there.
Yeah, but it'd be cool.
Yeah. I believe in it. I mean, when we brought our tattoo artist to RoofCon, we were like, we'll tattoo your logo on you for free. Or we'll tattoo the Hook logo, which people did. There's also Hook tattoos floating out in the world. But Best Damn Roofer, we have 2 matching tattoos, and he's got the Hook. But it's, if you believe in what you're doing, and if people are like, well, what if you leave there? I'm like, that's fine. Right now, at this point in my life, it means so much to me, and I love it that I'm never going to regret it. Unless you fire me, Tim. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't fire.
Don't fire.
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, I don't want to keep too much of your time. I know we wanted to try to get in and out, but like, again, thank you guys so much. Like, this has just been an incredible overnight trip for us. We got to go to a great dinner.
Good.
I tried to invite her last night, but she blew us off. Like, she said we weren't good enough to hang out with.
I was busy. I had to do my 6th time at the gym this month so that I don't have to pay my full price. I had to go.
So you missed out on a dinner at Manny's to go work out, what you could have did this morning.
Yeah, but I have a sleeper inner.
That's
fair.
I'm a sleeper inner, so I knew I wasn't going to do it. Accountability.
Well, next time we're here, as a thank you, we'll take Tim out, his wife.
Absolutely.
Take you guys out because, I mean, I guarantee we're coming back here. I mean, we love what you guys are doing. We're so appreciative of this opportunity. I mean, so when we had talked to Tony, we were going to do it at his office originally, and Tony was here that day.
Yeah.
Me and him were texting. He's like, let me ask Tim if we can just do it there. They have a podcast room now. And I'm like, cool. And then, we just went from there. And so thank you so much.
Absolutely. We're very glad that you guys are here, and hopefully this was an enjoyable experience and get some good content out of it.
It's been awesome. So again, thank you again. And in the words of our good friend Elijah, who's typically hosting it, see you on the next one.
Peace.